I'm Detroit, and you know what that means. Detroit media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network. Woodward Sports.
Hey, let's go. Tuesday show, April 8th, 2025. Ermanni and Edwards with Mass, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. Over 80,000 subscribers on that platform. If you're watching on X, good afternoon to you. Braylon Edwards. It's almost golf season, my friend.
Yeah,
good afternoon to you.
You guys know me. You guys know I love golf. Last year, Ryan and Monty, I was honest about myself as it relates to golf. Can I play golf? Yes. Am I good at golf? No. Took me a lot to admit that last year. It still hurts to say it. So I got lessons this year. Shout out to my guy Bob Kraus, Tryon Solutions.
Shout out Bob Kraus.
I've been knowing Bob probably just about 15 years or so, but finally took him up on his offer, got some lessons out in Madison Heights. So feeling good about my day, man. I woke up, man. Good to be here with you guys. The gang's all here. The energy is right. Yeah. Let's go, man.
I can feel it from you. I feel it from you.
Right. I got the glow like Bruce Lee.
Sometimes people can say it, but I feel it from you on that side of the table. My goodness. Tom Azaway, good afternoon to you, buddy.
What can you feel from me?
I can regular.
feel the tide turn.
You always bring it. Whatever the mood you're in, you're fine.
How about Braylon's beard?
Oh, it's coming back. It's
coming back. It's already back.
But you know what though? Like this is too much. I kind of like the short.
Those dimples were lights out.
So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna actually cut it back down and wear the short one for a while.
Why don't you wear it
like last week though? Like,
you should wear it like the mutton chops that the Houston guy had on yesterday. Did you see that?
I'm a pass on
He had those. He had those
I'm
things.
a pass on it.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I've
Remember
ever seen
those?
a black man with mutton chops.
No.
He had them.
In the 70s.
He had them.
Well, I've never seen it. I
Oh,
was
you know what? Common sense.
born in
correct.
'89.
Common sense.
It's good to have you. It's good to have everybody, man. It's good to have
Absolutely.
it. We haven't seen each other since right
Thursday.
before opening day.
Thursday, right?
Yeah.
There's no doubt. You guys, I know you guys talked about this yesterday, but I'm sure you had a great time opening day and all
Oh,
that
it was
stuff.
outstanding.
So you got a chance to see you guys at the watch party. What a party that was at the Detroit Opera House. My goodness, huh?
Didn't have the same experience Friday.
Same.
But we did get that worked out. I talked shout out to Big Guy Stick, man. We got that worked out, man. It won't be any more miscommunicating on our part.
I love that. Pete Spivak, Ricky Burns in the house as well. Gentlemen, how goes it?
I can't complain, man. It's Masters week.
Yes.
My first time golfing for the season is on Saturday, so I'm getting hyped. So
Okay, so
Rick,
we
you
don't
like
have to
golf?
get out.
yeah,
You a good golfer?
No, I'm not good. I can hit the ball. Let's say that.
If you hang out with Braylon and Ryan, they're invited to like a million outings. You could maybe go with them.
I'm always down for an outing.
If you think I'm part-time now, wait till the summertime when Braylon Edwards playing golf every 15 minutes.
You know how I feel.
Yeah. There will be less of that this year. There will be less of that.
Maz's favorite sport is golf.
Guess what? I've grown to adore golf.
Yes.
Because of what it's done to my family. What it's done to my family. My daughters caddying, both of them, 2 out of 3.
Best job for a kid.
Reaping the benefits of it now. So
Best job for
golf.
You don't play at all?
I put you. No, I don't play, but I put golf on the top of the heap right now. So God bless you. God bless the Western Golf Association as well.
I dare you.
I know we're not supposed to talk about the Tigers.
Go ahead.
But they just hit 3 home runs in a row.
No kidding.
How did you get from 1 to 4 that fast?
I'm sorry.
No,
I mean,
that's fine.
It's Torque. It's Zach McKinstry. It's Dylan Dingler.
Yep.
3 in a row.
That's
4-0.
incredible. And just for the record, just so people are like, why are you not supposed to talk about the Tigers? It's one of those things when we have a podcast, a live cast, where about 100 people are watching us now. There'll probably be 10 times that, 20 times that by the next 24 hours. So if you're watching this on your own time and you're not watching it live, you really don't care to get a play-by-play update on the Tigers, right? You serve as a little bit of alternative programming, and then at the end, second hour, maybe if the game's a little bit closer to being done, then you talk about it. You give some. That's why. Just if everybody's like, why aren't you supposed to be talking about the Tigers? That's why. That's all.
I think a lot of people do both. Like nowadays, like the streaming devices, the cell phones, the laptops, whatever. I think people have the game on and then have us on in their ears or vice versa. So I think they do it in a
They do.
multitude.
The chat's been on it.
Or
The
100%.
chat's watching us and watching the game.
Yep. So we can do our show.
We'll watch it together.
No, yeah, watch. We can do a watch party if you want. You want to do a watch party? I don't give
Yeah.
it. You just turn it around.
I heard
Do a
that
watch
one
party.
before.
party.
Watch that.
I
Watch
love it.
something else.
We can do a watch party /show.
A watch party is much easier to do than a show.
Yeah, you just sit here and just chat.
Just sit here and just talk about what's happening in the game.
I'm not falling for that one
How
again.
about the Tigers? How they got screwed? They got screwed because of our April weather. That they had to move these games to the daytime. It's the
that was a good one.
Yankees.
Well, I
You
feel
know how
like
much money they lost on this series?
I feel like the Tigers fans got screwed because of
Yeah,
the Yankees.
of
I mean,
course.
they only come in once a year.
I know.
Yeah.
And, look, I think the fans win on a day like today. If it's
Yeah, the
gonna,
ones that are there.
If it's going to be 30 degrees out, play it at 1 in the sun. Don't play it at 7 when
Right.
it's wind
Right.
chills below 0.
How great did Casey Mize look yesterday?
Man.
He's fantastic.
He looked great.
He has got it, man. He's got it. He's a 1-2 punch with Skubal, who really hasn't pitched that well yet.
I think the Tigers are the best team in the American League, and I don't mean to have like some
my.
overreaction.
my.
I do believe if Casey Mize pitches like that, if Spencer Torkelson hits like he's hitting, Braylon, this is the best team in the American League. You have 2 round 1, pick 1 players that are performing to the caliber of what you thought they would perform at when they were picked round 1, pick 1. That's like 2 huge off-season free agent signings that you got for nothing. And with those 2 essentially additions, you're the best team in the American League, in my opinion. Nobody can pitch with this group. Nobody can pitch
How
with
about
them.
if you're Al Avila right now? You're sitting home, and these are your draft picks, and they're starting to blossom. And I know the Tigers have improved the minor leagues since Scott Harris has come here, but there's got to be a part of Al Avila that's home, and his stomach is just in knots right now.
I disagree with that. If you're Al Avila, this allows you to get another job. That's really what happens.
Look at it.
I mean,
Okay.
if you're Al Avila, you say, look, these are my guys. You basically have a working resume that you can just say, here, choose.
Right.
What did I get wrong again? What did I get wrong?
Yeah.
I could draft like this for you. I could develop like this for you. Al Avila, for all of the different signings that he's had, and I didn't realize we were going to talk about Al Avila today, so I didn't do a bunch of research on what he did and what he didn't do, but just overall with his draft picks, absolutely, Bray. I think he's done a job that says, okay, if I want back in, maybe you get another chance.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at some of the players that he drafted, you look at the success that they've had over the last couple of years, then maybe. But it was so bad here. I'm conflicted. And like you said, we didn't do that preparation. But if you want to take a chance on a guy like Al Avila, if you're a team, then sure. He now has some players. You now have some success with those players that you can point to. So maybe, I don't know. It just ended so bad. What was the Al Avila ending in your eyes, Maz? Like it was ugly, but at the same point, what Ryan is saying.
Well, the last thing was the trade of Justin Verlander. I think that just put it over. Austin
Waiting too
Meadows,
long.
signing Austin Meadows, and then what happened to him. It just nothing worked out for this guy. The guy they got from the Houston Astros in that Verlander deal, I forgot the pitcher, he blows out his arm the following year. The only thing you have left is Jake Rogers, who's been a very good Tiger. But Jake Rogers for Justin Verlander doesn't sound right. But it's not his fault. He's here. He's a good Tiger. I'm glad he's here. Dylan Dingler's learning off of him. It's all good, man. I think everything is on the upswing right now. And, we'll talk Tigers a little bit later.
It goes back to what we were talking about, though. Like, every time I feel like we play this game of trying to give GMs credit for the past. Like, after they leave, we did the same thing essentially.
Bob Quinn.
Well, we did the same thing this season with who? With the Detroit Pistons. How well they're playing this year.
Troy Weaver.
As opposed to when they had Troy Weaver. So when you break it down, I don't think Al Avila, you look back and you say, yeah, it's him, because he did a lot of negligence in terms of the team they put together. Like, he drafted some players, but he didn't add players. He didn't trade players at the right time. Like, it's one of those things you have to spend some time on.
No doubt about it. And look, we're going to switch gears now to something that a lot of people spent a lot of time on, and that is the Woodward Sports Bracket Challenge.
I'm saying it's over.
We want to. I know it was a tremendous tournament. We want to bring in Dr. J. Jugganathan now, our sponsor for the
Doc.
Woodward Sports
Hi.
Hey, Doc, how you doing, my man? Just want to thank you first and foremost for the partnership. We had a record number of entries this year into our Woodward Sports Bracket Challenge. You're a big reason why. We want to thank you for that, and we've got some winners. First of all, Dr. J, how did you do in this tournament?
You had Maryland.
Yeah, I had Maryland, unfortunately, so I didn't do too well. Didn't do too well in my brackets, and more importantly, we lost our coach too. So.
That's right. But you got Buzz now. Buzz is a good coach. You got
Buzz
a good
is a good coach. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so hopefully he'll do well. But thanks again for allowing us to be to partner this with you. We had a great time, and it was really exciting to see the turnout, and really nice to partner with all of you guys at Woodward Sports.
So for the winners, we want to announce the winners. The winner of the first place prize gets $1,000. Gabe Kozak. His username was Crazy Kozak, and he is from the city of Rochester. He will win $1,000.
Nice job.
Second place, going to win a weekend for two at Grand Traverse Resort in Traverse City, including brunch at the area.
This is the prize I wanted.
Yes, this is the prize everybody wanted. I think, well, the $1,000 goes too. But Colin Wood won this. Username Colin Wood from Maurice, Michigan, out towards Lansing. By the way, I think it is worth noting that Dr. J's wife actually came in second. Mary Dunn came in second.
Oh, wow.
But because of the rules here, she could not win a prize. But first and foremost, Doc, first of all, talk about your wife finishing truly
she
number
picked
second.
all the one seeds. I guess she knew that usually that wouldn't work, but she didn't pick the one seeds, and the one seeds did well this year. So
That's great.
You got it.
Came out on top.
Dr. J, you got to give a little more credit than that because I picked all the one seeds too. I got to the Final Four. I was 25th going into last night's game, and then I finished 128. So you got to give a little bit of more credit than that.
Yeah, I will. I'm sure I'll hear about that tonight.
I should have chose Florida. I chose Houston.
Right, and just a third place, 2 club tickets to watch the Detroit Pistons, thanks to RHB Laboratories. Richard Dale, RB Dale was the username from Clinton Township, going to watch the Detroit Pistons.
Nice.
Dr. J here, let me just ask you, Maryland guy, Michigan guy, we've got Michigan State people. The Big Ten comes up empty once again. We have not won a national championship in 25 years. Who will be the next Big Ten team to win the national championship?
Oh, wow. As much as I'd like to say Maryland, now that they've got this new NIL budget, I think you got to go with State right now as the, just with the history and with Izzo there. But I don't know. I mean, I think Michigan put on a good performance. A lot of people didn't expect them to go as far as they did. And I'm hoping now with Maryland, with Buzz coming in, that'll help us out a little bit too. They're saying they're going to have the highest portion of NIL dedicated to basketball compared to any other Big Ten school. So hopefully that'll give us a chance too in the future.
What did you make of the Final Four itself? The last 3 games of the season, the 2 on Saturday, Houston beating Duke was a remarkable comeback. And then, of course, Florida kind of flipped the switch on Houston last night, coming back from down 12 in the second half to win the national title. What did you make overall of the Final Four games and then the national championship last night?
I was just going to say it. I didn't think the early rounds didn't seem quite as compelling as some of the previous years, but I think the last 4 were really, really great games. And, I had Duke going all the way, so obviously I was wrong. But similar to Maryland, it seemed like it really boiled down to bench play with Duke. With Duke, they only had 4 points coming off the bench, and hard to win, at that level with that. And, I think definitely Florida, they seem to have kind of, it seems to be a well-coached team and kind of just generally speaking a well-rounded team. So, I think it just goes to show, I think that leadership plays a role too. Sometimes you have those one and dones, kind of like we had with Derek Queen, but kind of that all-around leadership. The leadership coming off the bench really plays an important role as well. And I think that seemed to play out this year.
Hey, Doc, we need you back next year because you know more basketball than we do.
Well, thanks for having me again. It was a pleasure. Really enjoyed working with you guys.
And congratulations to Mary. Even though she couldn't win an official prize, Doc, you got to go buy her something now, right?
I called myself right.
Appreciate you, Doc.
I know. Next year, she's going to do my bracket for me.
Right? No doubt.
She's going to do mine, too.
Absolutely. Dr. J. Jugganathan, you could follow him on social media. Give him a follow at MI Neurosurgery. At MI Neurosurgery all over social media, Instagram, and certainly on X. Thanks so much, my
See
friend.
you,
We
Doc.
appreciate the partnership.
We'll see you
Thanks for
again.
having me. Good. Have a good day.
You good, man.
Go Terps. I'll say it for you.
It's crazy because like he has a conversation with us, and now he has to go like possibly do surgery or save somebody's life.
Right.
He scrubs in. It's like, all right, you good?
That's great.
I might go for just to let him check me out.
I think Dr. J made a
look under the
great
hood.
point, though, in talking about this NCAA tournament. The first 2 rounds, but the Sweet 16, the Elite 8, the Final 4, this did get to become a good tournament. Those Final 4 games, the comebacks, the finishes, and, of course, last night, I mean, that poor kid from Houston that doesn't even get a shot off at the end. I'm sick
What a
for him.
horrible-
I
because of
was sick for
Walter
him.
Clayton Jr. jumped out of nowhere
Yeah.
to go to block that shot.
Controllable.
To further
Yeah,
that,
he
that's
know.
because his own man didn't set the pick.
Yep.
His man missed the pick
Yes.
that left Walter Clayton Jr. wide open to block
Wide
that shot.
open.
You know what? One thing about that moment before we dive into the game or break it down and Duke and what's going to happen, like the NCAA tournament, you know what it reminds you of? Like we forget that they're just kids. Now, I know some grown-ass men in this tournament, excuse my French, because of NIL and obviously the
COVID and all that.
COVID, exactly. But they're just kids.
Yeah.
Like the Chris Webber situation, everybody looked at Chris Webber and was, pointing at
Yeah.
him, this,
Yeah.
this, this,
He was
this,
like
this, this,
19.
this. He's a 19-year-old kid. He's a 19-year-old kid.
Wow.
Like last night, Sharp, when you see him just fall to the floor, he's a young man.
Yeah.
And we put so much now because they get paid. Athletes get the bag, as we say, and you see them and so much. And they're just young men, and some of them are just kids. And I think a lot of times we got to remember that and enjoy it because we're ready to treat them like they're 35 and call the timeout when they didn't have it, or they're 35 and he missed the screen, and now you jump and now you drop the ball because you don't want to double dribble or travel. So they're just young men, and they give us all they have. It sucked for Houston, but it was a great finish.
Hey, man, Houston has never won a national title. I'm shocked
So bad.
at that. And, Pete, you could put up the last bunch of teams that have won
Sure.
4 or more championships. They're not on the list, guys. I mean, Phi Slamma Jamma did not freaking win a natty. I just feel, Kelvin Sampson coached a great game. Florida played an unbelievable defense. They have the big guys that were challenging every single shot. Last night was not great shooting basketball, but it was great defensive basketball. The last 2 games on Saturday, man, I was riveted. I watched both games start to finish, which I usually don't do, but it was so good. It was good to see the 4 best teams in college basketball play each other. And last night, the 2 best left gave us a great game, a great ending. It's a shame Houston couldn't get a shot off at least. But you could just see Florida little by little by little taking over that game. And about at the 10-minute mark, I wrote my friends, I'm like, this game has got Florida written all over it. I don't see Houston. They can't shoot. They could not put the ball in the basket last night.
See, the problem with just having a defensive team, like you don't have those players. Like Florida's way better team talent-wise than Houston is as it relates to shooting the ball, putting the ball in the baskets. Their better players are much better than Houston's better players. So in the end, that isn't what happened. And they played defense, but they couldn't score. They didn't have set shots. They didn't have half-court offense. They didn't have one-on-ones. Cryer is their best player, and Cryer was nowhere to be found, talking about Houston. Walter Clayton Jr. was the best player in the tournament, including Cooper Flagg, in terms of the moments that he had. He's a much better player than anybody on Houston team.
Had 1 point in the first half.
He did, but
Finished strong.
But he had the block.
Yep.
He had a couple threes. He had a couple layups. He got people involved. They were a better team down the stretch. You saw that with the tournament, though. How many this game reminded me of the Michigan-Auburn game. Like, how many games did we see in the Sweet 16 till now where leads blown, teams fall apart?
Oh, God, yeah.
Like, this was last night's game, not Auburn and Michigan.
Look what Florida did to Texas Tech.
Look how
Remember
many
that comeback?
Yeah.
Look how many turnovers Auburn had against Michigan, and yet and still, Michigan allowed them to come back in the end. Same thing happened last night. Florida had 16 turnovers, but Houston had no capitalization off those turnovers, and they stayed in the game, and eventually it clicked. Florida knew they were a better team, and they played better down the stretch. Same thing happened with Auburn and Michigan. Auburn realized they were a better team down the stretch, and it clicked. That's what happened last night.
At one point, they called 5 fouls on Houston inside of 10 seconds.
Yeah, it was quick.
10 seconds, 5 fouls.
You knew who they had for the winner.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They said that was a makeup for early on. They were calling fouls on They were calling fouls on Florida that were not, because they called a couple fouls on Florida, and you're like, I don't even know if that was down the stretch. That was makeup, because Houston, they were in the bonus last 8 minutes of the game. To your point, Maz, and helped Florida out.
And their 90% free throw shooter went 2 for 4.
Yeah, bricked.
There's your game.
Mavs, I think you made a great point a moment ago, and I don't want it to go unnoticed. I love the fact that the 4 best teams were in the Final Four. For as much of this tournament that we make a big deal out of March Madness and the little guy and upset, I thought those 2 games on Saturday were as good as it gets. And last night's game was as competitive as it gets. And there is a rightful national championship, and there was no cheapies. There were no cheapies in that Final Four.
Nope.
Florida earned that national championship.
It was beautiful.
Let me ask you guys this question, because we have all said that NIL has changed the game, right? Every sports fan that knows anything has said NIL has changed the game. Is this an underrated aspect of NIL changing the game for the better? Isn't it better to see the best teams in the country? Now, those team names will change. Houston and Duke and Auburn and Florida this year might be Michigan and Kansas and Kentucky and Arkansas next year. But the 4 best teams are going to end up in the Final Four. Isn't that a great thing?
It is.
Yeah.
The little guys still have a chance to compete with Goliath. But at the end, the better team more than likely will come out on top, and that's what happened this year. Hey, it beats the hell out of seeing little pesky San Diego State in the final, and they had no chance to win just a couple of years ago.
Kind of where I was going with it.
Yeah.
As a sports fan, it's great to see San Diego State win a game.
Yeah.
It's great to see Oakland win a game against Kentucky. But at the end, when it comes down to the Final Four, I don't want to see George Mason. I don't want to see San Diego State.
Game.
I don't want to see these.
No BCU?
Yeah, I just don't want to see it. FAU, no offense.
Vlad Golden,
Right. You know?
Dusty May.
I just think basketball is different than any other sport, in the sense that I think every year, whether you're going to now till back in the day, the best 4 teams have always made the tournament. Like, college basketball is set up in a way in which you get through that March Madness, you get to the Final Four, you're the best team. You're the team that should be there, because the majority of these teams in here have won 26 or more games anyway. Yeah. I feel like every Final Four, and you can start going back down the list, were there blowouts in the last 20 years of Final Four? I feel like basketball is a different sport where you're going to get the best 4 teams, whoever makes that Final Four. So I think you'll now get number 1 seeds. You'll now get the number 1 schools. You'll get those. But I think you always get the 4 best teams in basketball.
I'd have to disagree with that, because in a 1-game elimination tournament, for instance, I didn't see NC State's track.
I was about to say.
You know what I mean? As an 11 seed. But, did they have an easy road? Did somebody knock off somebody to give them a little bit of an easier road? Did they have to face – I didn't look back. What about San Diego State or FAU as a 9 seed? Did they have an easier road after somebody knocked somebody off? I mean, it's just, in a 1-game elimination, if you're playing best of 7, sure, but in a 1-game season, I don't know. Loyola Chicago.
Yeah, but you're talking about one out of the Final Four teams. You're talking about 1 out of 4. Like, the other 3 teams are usually 1-1, 1-1-2, 1-1-4, 1-2-4. So what I'm saying is, if that one outlier happens a year, cool. But for the most part, you're still getting the 4 best teams with one outlier spot.
I mean, interesting to see what happens. And by the way, stick with a college basketball note. Jace Richardson is opting to go to the NBA, and
I'm a little surprised.
I don't know, man.
I don't know if he's ready. Of course, we all talked about that. None of these guys are ready unless you're a Victor Wembanyama.
Here's the case to stay at Michigan State. NIL at least makes it a conversation, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
The fact that you could make $2, $3, $4 million, whatever you could make, it at least gives the student athlete, gives the college player an opportunity if he isn't ready yet, if he thinks he could use another year and then maybe come out and be the number one player selected in the NBA draft with another year under his belt, well, you can go pocket $2 million maybe. But then the question is that money there? Is that money available in NIL at any particular school? Is somebody at Michigan State going to pony up $2 million to keep Jace Richardson there?
Supposedly,
I don't know.
Supposedly, they're ready to spend money, from what I read.
And that's great. I hope they do.
Michigan is one of the top 3 schools already for transfers. As far as the transfer portal, they hit top 3 out of the top 5 guys have transferred over to Michigan, and they're ranked number 5 already in the way too early top 25 of next season.
Definitely way too early, but hey, look, man, I like it. You know, Dusty May is going to take his shot at the portal. Like in basketball, you have these grown men.
Maybe they'll bring Hunter Dickinson back.
That's the way to win. I mean, you crack jokes, but that's the way to
He's
win.
going to St. John's.
You got. I just think Dusty May has, he's got his finger on the pulse as it relates to the transfer portal. You can do a lot, man. Go after guys that are already seasoned. Go after guys that are already veterans, a little bit older, a little longer in the tooth, because they'll make better basketball players. Who is that says, I'm not recruiting kids anymore? I'm not recruiting
Rick Pitino.
Yeah.
I'm not recruiting high school kids anymore. It's
I mean, there's over 1,200 kids in the portal.
Because every 17 and 18-year-old is not coming in as Cooper Flag. They're not coming in as that. They're coming in as much dumbed-down versions of that. So I get
Boy,
it.
did he have a good look Saturday night. I mean,
boy.
do you have
Last shot.
I mean, that a look like that stares you in the face for the rest of your life.
Come up short.
No matter what you do.
That's the difference between shooting that shot at just turning 18 in December versus shooting that shot when you're 22 like Christian Laettner. That's the difference.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's because
Good point.
Christian
That's a good
Laettner
point.
didn't think about it. Like Cooper Flag, he's young. He's thinking about, I got to make sure it's just right.
I'll never forget
'Cause
Grant
he's still-
Hill's pass and Thomas
Perfect.
Hill's celebration at the Spectrum.
People
What a
forget
game that was.
Grant Hill's the son of one of the best running
Yep.
backs in Cowboy history.
What a game. What a time.
Total side note, Iron Eagle, what a pro. Did not
Fabulous.
miss Jim Nance at all.
Fabulous.
And I love Jim
Who?
Nance. I love Jim Nance, but Iron Eagle is as good as they come,
He
man.
is.
He is one of the
Really
good
put
ones.
a stamp on
Jim
it.
Nance, is he doing a Masters again this
Yes.
year? Okay.
Yep.
And Raftery is second to none.
Well, he's at the
He's
top
in
of
his
his
80s.
game at
He's
82.
He's in his freaking
Top of
80s.
his game at 82.
Still sharp.
Isn't that
he's
something?
Still sharp.
It just goes to show you too.
Yeah.
You know, you got to know the stuff, right? You got to know your stuff. But why is Raf good? He's entertaining as hell.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's as
He's good.
entertaining as
Right.
they come. You know, he's not gonna bore you on the mic to death. I mean, he's out there. He's onions.
Do you
He's
guys
out
like Grant
there.
Hill? What does
I
Grant
think
Hill
he's
do
a
for?
great supplement. He's a great number 3rd.
Yeah.
I couldn't have said it better.
He's a great
Yeah.
number 3 booth guy.
He doesn't do. It's one of those things where he doesn't do anything falls for me. But I have seen a broadcast with Iron Eagle, Bill Rafferty, and Grant Hill wasn't. I was wondering where was Grant Hill at, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like when I'm watching, I don't give him extra credit.
Yeah,
but when
yeah.
he's not on,
Not
I'm
there.
like, hey, where the hell's
Right.
Grant at?
You know, one of the things
just
too,
knows.
whenever you're on a show, everybody's got a role to play too. And if there's a buy-in, good for Grant Hill. He has bought into that role that he plays in that booth. He's not trying to overtake Raf.
No.
You know, for as good as Grant Hill was, he was one of the best players in an era, you know, when he was at the. But it's Raf that knows that game. You know what I mean? Yeah. God bless Grant Hill for being a compliment to Rafferty and not trying to, overpower him.
Yeah.
Well, Grant
That
has
is-
always been a gentleman.
Well,
He's a gentleman.
but it's just self-preservation, too, in that, man, for this to work, everybody's got to buy in.
Yeah.
And good for Grant Hill.
You know how we give people credit for where they come from because of who coached them. I mean, it's Coach K. Like, he has his imprint on him. Grant, like you said, he's been that the whole time. I think also what helps him, too, he wasn't the best player on his team in college. You know what I'm saying? And then once he gets in the NBA and becomes the best player in the league, essentially in '94, he gets hurt. And he had to become a role player the rest of his career. So I think playing a role, Coach K kind of helped him with that. And, he's very humble in how he plays it.
No doubt.
By the way, Kerry Carpenter.
I was just
also
going to
knows.
say,
Yeah, Kerry.
he's
Yeah,
the
he's
home
got
run
another one.
brigade.
Right.
Four
Do we got
homers.
torpedo
Right.
bats? Do we got torpedo bats?
You know, I'll tell you, I was listening to
Right.
Dan Dickerson on the way over here today, and he was talking about how some physicists studied the launch of the baseball in the cold weather and in hot weather, and you lose 2.5 feet per every 10 degrees.
Yeah.
So, for instance, the first pitch today, 30 degrees.
Yeah.
First pitch when they play the Rays in Tampa is going to be 80 degrees. That's over 12 feet
Amazing.
of baseball that
Amazing.
the ball will travel in Tampa. Then the same ball would go here, and they've hit 4 home runs today. So those things
stays
are
up there,
bombs.
too.
I'll tell you what, man. Zach McKinstry is coming to play this year. He is coming to play.
Picking up.
He is unbelievable. He's locked in. Little Zach McKinstry.
Carry
The throw-in.
bombs.
Amazing. Just real good. Scooble looking good. Judge is on base here, but that's okay. At least he didn't hit a home run. Nothing right now.
Guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I do want to talk a little Lions and a little NFL draft. Mel Kiper dropped his final mock draft today.
Hall of Famer?
And Field Yates liked a tweet that I tweeted today, and I'm going to tell you what that is. And yes, it is regarding Mel Kiper. But first, a message from Buddy's Pizza. Buddy's Pizza been serving the original Detroit-style pizza since 1946. 79 years later, 22 locations in the state of Michigan, and you can still visit that corner location where it all began. The original, the OG, 6 Mile and Conant. Sign up for Buddy's Rewards, earn points on every purchase. Download the Buddy's Pizza mobile app today. Start earning right now. Add some Detroit style to your next meal. Save 10% off your entire order using promo code 10MEAL. That's the number 10, MEAL. Buddy'sPizza.com.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone. Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Time to get in shape because spring is, well, basically here. With 50 metropolitan Detroit locations, the gym for you is Planet Fitness. That's because trainers come with every membership, from the starter package all the way to the black card. You get a trainer. Then also there is no judgment. Trust me, if there was, I would have laughed at somebody that did at the gym, but I didn't because I can't judge at Planet Fitness. So come on down, have a good time. Fitness also fits into your budget at Planet Fitness. They're not hitting you over the head with the prices. So, wherever you are, there they are.
Hey, welcome back. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, and Tom Mazaway. Ricky Burns, Pete Spivak here with us as well. Mel Kiper dropped his final mock draft of the year, NFL draft. 2 weeks from Thursday is round one. So we're about, 16 days away or so.
In Green Bay.
In Green Bay.
Green
And
Bay.
This is kind of...
It'll be fun.
outside of the Shedeur Sanders conversation, this is pretty a lackluster draft because you don't have all of the quarterbacks at the top, and that's really where the sexiness comes in, right? Is when there's a bunch of quarterbacks that are jockeying for position and who's going where. So Sanders aside, Mel Kiper Jr. belongs in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. This is a debate that I think has come up recently. I've been saying it every year for probably the last decade. So I'll give myself a pat on the back there. If he doesn't get one pick right, his contribution to the game of football is, I don't want to say unmatched, but as important as any in the game. What he has done for this time of year, what he has done for the NFL to make this draft an event, the notoriety that he has brought to these players. This is a traveling Super Bowl now. Think of the economic impact that the NFL draft has on each of these cities, whether it was Detroit last year, Kansas City the year prior, Chicago, Philadelphia, and everywhere in between. That's Mel Kiper. He has done that. It's his baby, and without him, there is no NFL draft in Detroit. I firmly believe that. Without Mel Kiper, there is no draft in Green Bay. It's probably still in New York. It is discussed and talked about, and maybe somebody comes along the way 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and tries to make it something. But to have a 40-year head start on something and really create it, I think is incredibly worthy of recognition in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. 29, according to my research, so forgive me, this number may be plus or minus a few, 29 contributors in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Chris Berman is one of them.
Chris is in?
Chris Berman is
for him.
In the Howard Cosell.
Oh, of course.
John Facenda is in.
The
He's
voice
the voice
of
NFL films.
Harry Callis, I bet.
Nice. That's a good one.
I don't see Harry Callis on
He was the voice
here.
of the weekly NFL.
Yeah.
Plus, he did the Phillies and Eagles.
Now, some owners are like Bud
Rooney.
Adams, Rooney,
Mara.
Virginia McCaskey. Art Rooney, as you mentioned, Doug Williams, first African-American quarterback to win a Super Bowl, later an executive, but he was a player too. Amy Trask, former CEO of the Oakland Raiders. I mean, there are contributors, but what more contributor to the NFL over the last 40 years that you think you can come up with other than Mel Kiper?
I'm so on your page. And just to remind everybody, when the draft was on television back when ESPN was born in 82, 83, it was on a Tuesday morning. Then they moved it to a Thursday morning. And they basically did the entire draft in 2 days. And it was on like 9 in the morning. That's when it started. And it went all day long. And now look at it. It's a behemoth. The first round is on a Thursday night. The next 2 rounds are on a Friday. And then they wrap it up on a Saturday. It's a 3-day event. Like Ryan said, it's a traveling circus. How many people were in Detroit? How many people went?
700,000+.
Not bad. And we put on a hell of a show. And we got good weather, thankfully. And I hope Green Bay has the same weather as we did. And then the following year, it's in the Steel City. It's in Pittsburgh. It's going to be great there as well. It's really great. Coming to a guy that lived in Jersey and New York, I always liked it in New York. I went to several, I told you. I even went to a USFL draft. But it's great that it's traveling. It deserves to travel, especially to the cities like us that probably aren't going to see a Super Bowl anymore.
The point.
Green Bay is not going to see a
Right.
Super Bowl. Chicago eventually will see a Super Bowl when they have an indoor stadium. But, I went to the only outdoor winter Super Bowl, and I got lucky. It was 50 degrees in Jersey that day, and then it was a blizzard that night. We lucked out that Jersey Super Bowl. That's when Seattle ran Denver right out of the gym. So Mel Kiper, I love him. I don't watch NFL Network. I watch ESPN because of him.
Pete, if you can't get that, not a problem at all. I just randomly came up. I had a surprise for you. You're talking about Mel Kiper. This was from some time ago. Look, you
Was he
mentioned
talking about you?
Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I can't tell you these things. You mentioned that when we first started doing the show, 2021. I remember the conversation. I told you, no, he didn't deserve to be in there. He wasn't a player. He wasn't a coach. He wasn't front office. Like, I felt like this place was, it was reserved for those immortal men, that I mentioned, whether it's a coach, whether you got Vince Lombardi or player, you got, I didn't think he fit into that demographic. But over the years, time wins. When you think of the draft, I got drafted in 2005. Part of the draft process for me, excited coming out of Michigan, is what does Mel Kiper say about me? Because I knew Mel Kiper's word is pretty much gospel in the NFL. So it's like, what does Mel Kiper's word say about me? And then the more you just see what he does, Maz broke it down in terms of how he broke the draft down when he first started, all the homework, all the research, all the scout, all the information that he was able to give the front offices. Now teams are able to draft better players. Now teams are able to make better, look at the Lions draft over the last 4 years. That started with Mel Kiper and providing that information. So when you look at that, he has really changed the landscape of a lot of franchises with the way in which he's gone about scouting players, giving information about players. I still remember Mel Kiper Jr.'s Blue Book. Like, you get the Blue Book.
I was just going to talk about that.
The Blue Book comes out before the season starts, and then the Blue Book comes out in January as you get ready for the NFL draft.
Got you, Bray.
I was on. Oh, you got it? Here we go.
You.
Play it, Pete.
Oh, it's playing for them. Hang on.
And in that division. No question about it. You look at Braylon Edwards, and it may sound like I've been bashing Bray. It's not the case. I had to separate Mike Williams and Braylon Edwards. It was a hard call. I went with Mike Williams. He's still on the board. Braylon isn't. He's a Cleveland Brown. He's got Kellen Winslow at tight end. Now you add Braylon Edwards to that mix. You look at a kid, 6'3", 210, big, competitive, works hard. He's a great kid. I had a chance to talk to he and his father, Stanley Edwards, here in New York. Loves to play the game, works at it hard. And you talk about some of those drops. It's like a home run hitter. You're going to get strikeouts, but you'll get home runs. You'll get a lot of touchdowns with Braylon. When do those drops occur? Are they drive killers? They drop one in the red zone. Where do they occur? Are they inconsequential drops? And he dropped them inconsequential. I remember that. Ohio State game, huge effort with 10-plus catches. But the key drop when they were getting momentum, Michigan was get back in the football game around midfield.
Let me get that. Let me get that.
Never sees the opportunity to get back in that football game. And I think if Braylon can increase the concentration level, it's not about hand-eye coordination.
Hey, man, that's that guy Tracy Porter. The fumble, the onside kick.
He is unmatched in that area. It's about concentration, and he knows that. I'll tell you, he's not defensive for you about criticism. He handles criticism well. You bring it up with him. He doesn't challenge and say, no, you're wrong. He says, I know. I got to work on that. It's about concentration. And a receiver.
I appreciate Mel Kiper because
that's awesome.
He that part at the end where he says he appreciates criticism. He's a liar. I don't. But I was able to lie in that space with him. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll work on that. Man, who the hell is he to say I'm dropping passes? Now I'm 42. He was right. There were some times you drop some passes and mental lapses, but he does a phenomenal job, and he is the NFL draft, and the NFL draft is the NFL. So, Ryan, I agree.
And think about all of the
Pete, hell of a job, Mike.
I appreciate it, buddy.
Didn't he have it out with your dad?
Well,
he did.
That's the part. That's the part that I thought was funny. If you noticed that, he's like, I had an opportunity to talk to him and his dad Stanley, and if you know the story, that is
ESPN
classic.
Zone. ESPN Zone, man. My dad, because Mel Kiper, what did he say in the beginning? He chose who?
Mike Williams.
He chose Mike Williams. So then when my dad saw him, we were coming out of ESPN Zone. Mel Kiper was coming in, and he stopped Mel Kiper. He said, so you think Mike Williams is better than my son? My dad runs through. He's this, he's that.
I'm talking about our Mike Williams?
I'm like, no. Mike Williams from US. Yes. From US.
Chubby?
Yes.
Chubby?
But this is in the draft. This was like USC Michigan.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so
oh God.
That's good times. 20 years ago.
What? But think about all of the careers that he's kind of made. I mean, like all the other draft gurus that
he's hurt some careers too, though.
But I'm just talking about the draft gurus themselves. Every network has a draft guru.
Ian Rappaport,
some networks have 2 draft gurus. Some have 3. I mean,
don't you remember Bill Tobin, the general manager of the
almost
Colts?
What made him? Yeah.
Oh my God.
Who the hell is Mel Kiper?
Who the hell is Mel Kiper? My postman knows more than Mel Kiper. It was an awesome spiel, if everyone remembers that one. Bill Tobin against Mel Kiper. He has pissed off a lot of people.
Well, and if you understand the undertone of that, who in the hell is Mel Kiper? Mel Kiper from Baltimore, still lives in Baltimore, pissed that the Colts left Baltimore and moved to Indianapolis. So he had a little bit of a personal axe to grind against the Colts organization as well for leaving his city. Fun fact about
The more you know.
Mel Kiper, he has never used an ATM card.
Come on.
Really?
Yep.
Where the heck did you
That's
find
classic.
that?
Goes to the bank and gets
That's
cash.
awesome.
He goes to a person. That's
Yeah,
wild.
goes to the bank and gets cash.
Mel knows he's got a lot of
Fantastic.
money in that ATM.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rich people don't have debit or checking cards.
There you go.
Man, putting him with Al Michaels.
Man.
Doesn't
Can't
Al
build
Michaels
interest.
doesn't
Right.
use
Right.
vegetables?
There's nothing that helps them with checking and credit.
I was
debit.
just thinking like back in the day he would need to get some cash, but
Right.
he probably just get a
Hey,
black
Tom,
card.
what
He's
happens if he
old
needs a
school,
bank
walk in
account?
the bank. You got the slick back, got the glasses, got the Italian
Bosco,
suit.
Right? They
Let
know
me,
when you come
What
in.
happens if he needs fast
get 50
cash to
K.
save his life?
Bosco.
Bosco.
While we're talking about Mel Kiper, can we just take a look at his draft, which is becoming a likely scenario now? And Cam Ward expected to go number 1 to Tennessee. That almost feels like a lock because there's nobody else to trade up for to get. It almost is certain now that Cleveland Browns are going to select Travis Hunter, the wide receiver cornerback from Colorado. So you get him in Cleveland. Maybe you get your quarterback by way of Kirk Cousins or somebody else. But it almost feels like a lock.
I'm
Cam
telling you
Ward,
why. They're not taking him.
You don't think they're taking
They're
Travis
taking
Hunter?
a quarterback. They are taking a
Do
quarterback.
you think they're taking Shedeur Sanders?
I don't know, but they're taking a quarterback.
Who is Travis Hunter? Like, if the Cleveland Browns select Travis Hunter, who the hell is going to throw him the ball if he
Yep.
plays wide
I
receiver?
agree.
And then on defense, because a lot of people actually have him as a DB over wide receiver. They have the second expensive DB in the league in Denzel Ward.
Yeah.
And then number 2, Newsom is not a bad DB as well out of
Yeah.
Northwestern. So
He was
and
their
you-
number 1 last year.
And you still got Greedy Williams. So that just sounds interesting. That
I'm
sounds
telling you,
interesting.
right? They're going to shake it up. They're going to be back-to-back quarterbacks, back-to-backers.
But this is but Ryan,
I don't hate it.
No. This is what happened with me. The Cleveland Browns were that team. The Miami Dolphins. They were that team. The Miami Dolphins, they were picking. As a matter of fact, they were picking 2.
Yep.
The Miami Dolphins told me they came to Pro Day. They had Nick Saban at the time. Yes, that Nick Saban. Nick Saban at the time, he's there. Whole team came. Steve Ross, who owns the Dolphins, was there. Private jet. They talked about him. I talked to him. It was in the media. It was everywhere. Braylon. They drafted Ronnie Brown, and I ended up going to the Cleveland Browns. So you know the game. This could be part of that.
It could be in this draft. You know, New England is spot at 4 too. That they're obviously hoping that Abdul Carter,
Oh, God, yeah.
or Travis Hunter fall to them at 4. Not sure if that's going to happen or not. If that, they need Shedeur Sanders to go top 3. If that's the case, they're going to take an offensive tackle according to Mel Kiper. If they don't, Ashton Gente. 6 to the Raiders. I think Genty would be incredible for the Patriots.
Did you
at
hear the
4.
other sidebar to that? If he slips past the Raiders,
Yeah.
supposedly our guy with the New York Football Jets
Oh, boy.
Aaron Glenn.
is going to take Genty, and they're going to trade Brees Hall.
Brees Hall.
Yep.
Oh, because they still have Braylon Allen too.
Yep.
So they will have
Brees
Ashton
Hall is
Genty
on the
and-
block.
Like Braylon Allen.
I agree with that.
He's on the blocks.
Because he tore his ACL, but then it's like it was some friction last year. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of friction
He
in the
wants to
locker
run
room.
it. He wants to run it like the Lions.
Yeah.
Genty is his Gibbs. He wants to run it like the Lions.
So then you help your quarterback out.
Yep.
Oh, I like it.
And
Yep.
speaking of quarterback in this mock draft, he's got Shedeur Sanders sliding down to 9 with the New Orleans Saints. By the way, Mel Kiper has Shedeur Sanders as his top-ranked quarterback above Cam Ward. He loves this kid. Thinks, and man, forgive me if I get this wrong. I could have sworn
Well, I heard some of it, so I'm
I
with you.
heard Kiper say that Sanders and Travis Hunter are going to be Hall of Famers. He thinks this highly of these 2 players.
Wow.
And just loves this kid Sanders and, of course, Travis Hunter.
This is what I appreciate about Mel Kiper Jr. Everybody saw Shedeur Sanders for the past 3 years. Analysts, fans, the novice, randos, as y'all like to call them. Everybody has seen what Shedeur Sanders has done at the collegiate level, whether it was at Jackson State, whether it was at Colorado. You saw him You saw passes get to where they needed to get to. You saw the stats. You saw the numbers. You saw the comebacks. You saw everything that you needed to see during the season. You saw it at a small school, then you saw it at a Power 5 school. But then when the draft came about, oh, well, it's this, it's that, let me see this. Now, and that's what Mel Kiper was saying. Now that he's throwing in a T-shirt and shorts, all of a sudden you're pointing out flaws in the game. But when there was shoulder pads, a helmet, and he was on that field, he was locked in, there weren't any questions. And all of a sudden there's questions to drop him into the double digits, maybe even past that. Man, get over yourself. And that's why I appreciate him still ranking him that way. And the same thing with Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter didn't even participate in Pro Day fully. Like, he was only there to run a couple routes, just show his face, but help his boy Shedeur out. He didn't even run routes seriously, didn't even strap his gloves up, didn't even tie his shoes up. Old school Denard Robinson. And you know what they said? Routes don't look that good to me. He doesn't look that fast to me. He doesn't look like he's really pipe down. All you got to do, and that's what you'll start seeing, is people not doing Pro Day, people not doing Combine. Only reason why Shedeur Sanders did Combine, Ryan, is because he knew if he did Combine, he said all the people at Colorado would get a look because all the teams would go out and see him. You're going to start seeing kids. You got tape. That's why I didn't run at the Combine. I mean, I did Pro Day, but I didn't run at the Combine. You got tape. 4 years of film of me in Ann Arbor going against Ohio State. You don't need all this other film. They're going to get rid of that soon.
You got anything on that, Maz? You good?
I'm good. I like the Saints taking a quarterback. I had spoken about that last week.
Boy, that's a crappy organization, isn't it? Doesn't that feel like a crappy organization?
Yeah, I don't like the Saints.
You know,
they're not in the best of shape.
No.
Let's leave it at that.
They feel like a bottom 6 organization in the NFL right now. That's what it feels like. Bottom 6.
They still have a Super Bowl to their name, though.
No, sure, I understand that. I'm just talking about like if you're a quarterback team.
I know, but doesn't that suck when you're talking about them?
Yeah,
but they still have a Super Bowl championship.
Drew Brees.
The Lions in this mock draft, Donovan. I don't know how to. Ezeranic, yes, him. Outside linebacker, Boston College. The needs are the needs.
Look at that great graphic Ryan Lentz put together.
Look at Lentz. Let's go. The needs are the needs. 21 on the big board. My guy who I really like, James Pierce, the outside linebacker from Tennessee, going 32 to the Eagles.
Of course. Whatever they take, it will work.
Right. There's no doubt.
How about this? They got Jackson Dart, the quarterback, going to the
Rams.
Right?
Oh, and then back-to-back quarterbacks to start round 2. 33 and 34. Tyler Show, quarterback from Louisville, 33 to the Browns, and then Jalen Milroe, 34 to the Giants.
Did you hear about Milroe?
No.
He got invited to the big dance. He got invited to the draft.
Really?
He's going to be in the green room. So that second-round pick, he's going in the first round. He is going in the first round. Just like Baltimore moved up that year to get Lamar Jackson, someone's going to move up and get that kid.
It's still going to be interesting how they use him. I don't want to be NFL exec that says, oh, this guy has to be a wide receiver running back, but I'm still very curious to see what is the progression of Jalen Milroe as a quarterback in the NFL. I want him to have success, but when you watch the games, they weren't very enticing on to what he could be. It was a lot of running the ball. He was, for lack of a better word, he was more of a running back than a quarterback. So if someone did take him, I would be interested to see how are you going to use him. Like, is it just quarterback, or is it slash good call,
Cordell
man.
Stewart.
Cordell Stewart came out of Colorado. Started off as a quarterback, punter, running back, wide receiver. Eventually got to a place where he was a Swiss Army knife, not a quarterback. So I just want to be interested. How will the team use?
Can you imagine at 28 that the Lions take him and just pair him with on the other side of J-Mo? It's just a dumb statement. Right. But those are the only sub 4.4 guys. I mean, speed kills, right?
Incredible.
Braylon says it. Speed sells.
Jalen Milroe, I've never liked him.
Yeah.
I've never liked Jalen Milroe. Michigan beat him twice, so I have seen him.
Can I say something? And I don't want to take a shot at my university, but I'm gonna say something. If Jalen Milroe would have been a good quarterback, we would not have won 2 years ago.
You're probably right.
Alabama, Michigan. Like, if he was a better quarterback,
they
we
score
wouldn't
late.
have won.
They score late.
You're
in that game.
probably right. And maybe even a lot earlier, too. I mean, you're probably right.
But can a kid get better?
But he didn't, though, and that's the thing.
So why do they like him all of a sudden?
Because he's dealing with the same thing every draft has, no quarterbacks. And he has an upside. He went to Alabama. He was coached by Nick Saban. He runs 4.3. He's a great kid. He's very humble. I met him in New York at Madison Square Garden in December. He's a great kid. All these things start mattering when you're like, who are we going to – it's nobody to draft, but people need quarterbacks. People need players. So he'll get a shot for sure. He'll get a shot.
And to be honest with you, just for full disclosure, I don't like either of these quarterbacks either. I don't like Cam Ward. I don't like Shedeur Sanders. Just for the record, I mean, I've said that a million times. I just don't think either of those guys are 10, 12, 14-year starting quarterback, franchise quarterbacks. I feel about those guys, not so much Cam Ward, he's much bigger, but I feel like there's a lot of Bryce Young here. I feel like, and Bryce Young is improving, but in the next year or two, Carolina's going to replace their quarterback. I feel like I just don't like either of these guys at top the draft.
I don't respect or trust the ACC as it relates to quarterbacks. I know that there's outliers. There's Deshaun and there's Lamar. I don't trust the ACC as it relates to quarterbacks. I think Cam, he's a young man, so I won't say anything about him. I just don't trust it. Shedeur, right system, I think Shedeur could be something special in the league. With the right system now. With the right system.
Fair enough. Let me ask you about some first-round quarterbacks. We're going to play hit or miss.
Oh, hit or miss.
You guys want to play hit or miss?
Hit or miss.
Hit or miss.
Now, this is interesting. What are we talking about?
Pause. We are going to talk about first-round quarterbacks, okay?
Okay.
We're going to have some fun. We'll do it next. But first, a message from Dr. Pierce.
All right, guys, you know him. It's Dr. Jeff Pierce. He was here today talking about our guy, Aiden Hutchinson, who we'll show you a little bit later. But yes, Dr. Jeff Pierce, Michigan Sports and Spine, joins us every Tuesday on Big D Energy. He joins us here on the Big Show on Thursdays. Trust the guy that D-Mac and Braylon trust. He is here to keep you in the game, performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call 248-426-9944. Make sure you tell them the boys from Woodward sent you.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball's gone! Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward
Why
Sports.
would the Nuggets fire
Any
their
Lady
coach
Jane's
and
Haircuts
GM
for Men today.
a year?
Open 7 days a week.
What?
Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Oh yeah, everybody, we are the numero uno, the Maximus of all Maximus sports digital media platforms in all the entire world and the galaxy. We have 6 options for you to choose to catch our programming on. You got YouTube, Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitch. Come like, share, join, subscribe. Come be a part of our family. We want you to be a part of our family. We love you guys. 6 options for you to catch our programming and weekend programming coming too, gentlemen.
Hey, just a couple of sidebar things I want to address at the top of hour number 2 here. First and foremost, did you see the report on Cody Bellinger of the Yankees?
He's hurt.
Why he was scratched today?
Yeah, food poisoning. Where did he go?
He had
Lafayette.
no, I'm not even gonna put anything on. He had bad chicken wings. We here in Detroit demand to know where Cody Bellinger was last night.
100%.
Detroit doesn't deal in bad chicken wings.
If you think about it, there are very few places where these guys are going to go. Where are they going to go? Are they staying here around the block?
I'm not sure. They might be down at one of the casinos.
They might be at the casino. So they're either that's terrible news. Gosh. News alert came over just now. So I'll share it with you. Former Tigers pitcher, former MLB pitcher Octavio Dotel did in fact die in the Dominican Republic. I don't know if you saw the nightclub, the roof collapsed.
Oh, he was in there?
Wow. He was in there at the concert. It was terrible, but he was in there. They pulled him out. He was alive. He ultimately died.
How many people died in that?
I believe it was
Jesus.
Well, they pulled out over 100.
Oh, my God.
But that's not all that were dead. So most were alive. I think only last check, about 3 hours ago, there was 12 confirmed and 120.
God bless. God bless.
God bless. It almost makes anything I say after this
I was about to
null
say,
and void. But
I was going to put this up, and now you ruined it. I was going to say.
Yeah. So, but either way, as we continue on with the show,
we want to know what happened to Cody Bellinger.
So we demand. We absolutely need to know where Cody Bellinger ate. Is he eating here in Birmingham? Are they staying here?
Did he eat at the clubhouse? Did he eat in the clubhouse?
Right.
That could be a possibility.
He might have eaten the clubhouse.
Did he go to one of the casinos?
They always put out the buffet at the end of end of a game. You go into a clubhouse, Major League Baseball. They have lunch or dinner served for the players.
If that was the case, I would assume more players would have been had food poisoning.
Perhaps.
If that was the case.
Yeah, like Cody's making a different kind of cheese. Now he's probably.
I know.
Yeah.
We demand to know where Cody Bellinger was.
Now.
But he's going to be out the rest of the week probably. They say they'll probably sit him tomorrow.
Have you
then
ever
they
had
have an
food
off
poisoning?
day.
It's like one of the worst things you could possibly have.
It's horrible.
Horrible.
It's terrible.
Like, you ever have food poisoning and be getting paid $30 million a year? Get your butt in the game.
Yeah, nah, bro.
I'm just joking.
His butt is too busy.
I was right.
They got Ben Rice in for him instead.
Why'd you have to bring up Rice?
He's not
Why'd you
Cody,
have to bring
but
up
he's
Rice?
Let me.
Tigers 5-0 by the way.
Yeah. Speaking of the Tigers, so I just want to make mention of this. So I was down at opening day on Friday. On the TV side of things, I have never read such horrible comments about me than what I got on opening day.
Really?
Why? Because I wasn't wearing any Tigers gear.
Was it worse than Michigan State fans?
Worse than Michigan State fans.
That's crazy.
Worse than Michigan State fans.
First of all, why weren't you?
Maz, have you ever walked into a locker room wearing
No, I know that. But you're on the field doing your thing. Usually they wear that, don't they?
In the morning when it's become some kind of an event. But then I was on the sports side of things.
Yeah, you're not supposed to. Yeah,
for the sports show.
As reporters, we're not supposed to be wearing team apparel in any way.
You're laughed out of the building
Correct.
if you do that.
Yeah, that's
Like,
so.
who is this clown?
It's amazing how lack of awareness people have that.
I never knew. I worked in broadcasting for 15 years. I never knew. I never worked on the sports side, but yeah, that was very interesting. Makes sense.
Like when
People
Nick
get so
Koloff,
mad.
our Tigers beat reporter, Nick at Night, Nick Koloff, first time he's getting a credential. We got him a credential. He's doing fabulous. So I had to read him the ground rules. Remember, Nick, you can't wear any baseball gear, Tiger gear, whatever. The kid dresses great. He wears his Woodward sports polo. He's a nice pair of pants, jacket. He's doing great. But if you don't know that, it is, and I think be honest with you, I think there's snobby rules. What the hell do you care? What the hell I wear? I just don't know what the big deal is. But it is a big deal. You can't show preference, I guess. So there you go.
Well, yeah, there's a level of objectivity you're supposed to have.
Right.
Oh,
I'm a Detroit guy.
also
Who am I rooting for?
Right.
What do you want from me?
You're a talk show host though too. You're not like a reporter. You're not
I know
going. You
that.
know what I mean?
I know, and they've always looked at us radio and TV guys as a bunch of schmucks anyway.
Right.
They're so holier than thou. It makes me sick.
That's probably true, but also I understand just being in the locker room as a football player, when the media will come in, if you got a bunch of guys dressed in Tigers, well, let's say Browns, not them, Jets, T-shirts and hoodies and things like that. I'm like, who are these? Who are they with?
Yeah.
Then it becomes, who are they with? Is this somebody's uncle? Is this somebody's aunt? Somebody's daughter?
If
Somebody's
you
kid?
see him holding a mic with the flag, you kind of know.
But it doesn't look. It doesn't fit in the aesthetic.
I got you.
It doesn't fit the aesthetic. Like, you can't tell who's who.
Exactly.
So what did they say about you?
I mean, I don't. It was just like they wanted me fired because I wasn't wearing any Tigers gear.
What do you mean I'm
Right.
Spade has a family. Fired.
Right.
Crazy.
You know, it was.
my God.
But again, it's not.
Such hate.
I'm not down there. You know, I don't know. It's funny because you see all the morning show people like, they're Tigers gear and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But nobody's walking in that locker room.
But I love
walking in that clubhouse.
Francis Fox says Kelly Rowe looks so cute.
Well, she's out there with the fans doing the tailgating.
Right.
No, I love how you showed the clips of the sports people.
Right.
None of them had it on. It blew my mind. I was like, oh, yeah, he's right.
So I showed the clips of all the Fox 2 people. Dan Miller, Jennifer Hammond, Woody Woodruff, Wojo, and Birchie were on the sports coverage. Not one piece of clothing representing the Detroit Tigers. So
What did they say?
Well, nothing. They don't say anything after that.
Yeah, right? Sorry.
You know, sorry. Oh, sorry, man.
No, they don't say sorry.
No, they don't say sorry. Never apologize. Rule number 1. I want to. Can I get a little beat here, Ricky? I want to play hit or miss.
Hit or miss.
Okay, can we play hit or miss?
Favor.
I am not going to include last year's quarterbacks. I just don't think it's fair to include.
Yep. Makes sense.
No, go ahead and say Caleb's a miss.
Well, I think he very well could be.
I know. I'm just.
I mean, Caleb will. I'd say miss right now, and I'd say Jake.
Play your game.
Okay, hit or miss. Hit or miss. I'm gonna go back. I just don't think 1 year is enough. So we're gonna go first round quarterbacks.
Okay.
You tell me if they are a hit or a miss. You ready?
I am.
All right, Mads. Everybody included.
I'm in.
We just yelling out at the same time.
Just yell it out. Doesn't matter. Yell out. Bryce Young.
Miss.
C.J. Stroud.
Hit.
Anthony Richardson.
Miss. You did.
Kenny Pickett.
Miss.
Should have never been drafted.
Trevor Lawrence.
Hit.
Miss.
I'm saying miss.
I got hit.
Miss.
I'm saying miss for what
We're
they
gonna
paying
do
him.
collective.
Okay.
You have a hit.
I have a hit.
Miss.
Come on, Bray.
Hit. I'm waiting.
Okay.
Miss.
I'm waiting.
Miss. It's
Miss.
2-2.
You got
I'm gonna
tiebreaker.
say miss.
Okay.
Miss.
I'm gonna say miss. I'm counting that as a miss.
All
I
right.
think Trevor Lawrence is one of the most overrated
Yes.
players
And overpaid.
in our game.
That's
I'm
a
going to say
miss.
it's not his fault.
You going with a miss?
I'm
That's a
going
miss.
with a miss.
I'm still going with a hit.
Okay,
I would
that's
take
fine.
him on my team.
You're waiting to see what happens this year.
I would take him on my team right now.
Zach Wilson.
Miss. Unfortunately.
Mac Jones.
Miss.
Miss.
I agree.
Trey Lance.
Oh, poor kid.
Shouldn't have been.
He's with the Chargers now, right?
Justin Fields.
He's got a job.
Miss.
Hit.
I'm
Hit.
gonna go with hit.
Hit.
I'm gonna go with hit
I'm
with the
going
Jets.
with hit.
Justin Fields has been in the league 5 years going on. No, 6 years going
He's
on.
beefed
seven.
up now,
Right.
man.
21.
6 years. So 5 years going on 6.
Hey.
Right.
He's beefed up.
Has he finished the season over 500?
No.
Let me ask you this: if he's a hit, he's on his third
I know.
team
Yep.
since being drafted in the first round.
I know.
Wow.
I think that's
Wow.
a miss.
And he's not starting.
Well, so far it's a miss.
Side note,
I'm
do we
definitely
have-
stretching
do we
there.
have one hit so far.
Yeah, the one
Yeah.
hit is
CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud.
I just
And
don't think he's been
and
given
Trevor
a fair
Lawrence.
opportunity in the system.
Here, you got
That's
some
all I'm
hits here
saying.
coming up. You ready?
I'm ready.
Joe Burrow.
Big hit.
Tua Tagovailoa.
Oh.
Miss.
Mid.
Miss.
Is there a mid?
No.
Hit or miss?
Really hard hit.
Miss.
I'm gonna go miss.
Miss.
I'm gonna go hit.
Yeah, I think it's
I'm
a
gonna
hit.
go hit. Just look at what we.
He got paid.
Yeah, but look at what we described. Out of the 11 names we mentioned, you
Yeah.
got 2 hit. Well, 1 hit. Well, 2 includes
I'm
Joe
going to say
Burrow.
Tua is a hit. You can't.
Hit.
The injury
He's been-
is the injury.
Yeah.
Plus, he goes to the playoffs. Like,
I'm
look at
gonna
all these
say
other
hit.
quarterbacks.
Um,
Hit.
Who was my other?
He wins games and he's been in the playoffs multiple times.
Justin Herbert.
Hit.
Jordan Love.
Hit.
Good year.
Jordan Love.
Hit.
Jordan Love's a hit, right?
It's a hit, but he's confusing.
Yeah.
'Cause last year he took a step back.
Kyler Murray.
Hit.
Miss.
I'm saying miss.
Really?
Miss.
We got 1,
Miss.
2. What do we have?
I like hit. I say hit.
Okay, then it's a hit because that's 3.
Yep.
Daniel Jones.
Miss.
Miss.
Dwayne Haskins. Rest
Miss.
in peace.
Rest in peace.
Yep.
Miss.
I wish he missed. Getting hit.
We miss him.
Yeah, as it relates to Kyler Murray, just speed that back real quick.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. He's been in 2 playoffs. He doesn't have any playoff wins, but when you look at them when he's healthy, like he wins games.
Yeah.
He finds ways to win games. It looks like something you can. You know what? I can see this franchise working with that, so I took a hit.
Baker Mayfield.
Hit.
I struggle with Baker
Late hit.
because he is on his 3rd team.
Right.
That's the Browns' fault. It's their fault.
I understand that now today, but you see what I'm saying? Like, you're on
So
your
Bryce Young could do what Baker Mayfield.
Yeah,
essentially does
and then
what
he
he's
would be
saying.
a hit.
We already called Bryce a miss. That's what he's
Do
saying.
you see what I'm saying? That's why it's very difficult to pick a first round quarterback.
Baker's a hit.
Okay, we're going to count him as a hit, but I just want it to be recognized.
I understand.
That Baker Mayfield, as a hit, round 1, pick 1.
Won a playoff game with the Cleveland Browns, which is the hardest thing to do.
Okay,
in the NFL.
fair enough.
Hit.
They might have ruined his career,
Sam Darnold.
like they ruined Braylon.
Miss.
It's
Miss.
got to be a big miss.
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 New York Jets.
Without a doubt.
Josh Allen, hit.
Come on now.
Josh Rosen, miss.
Miss.
Kyler Murray.
Lamar Jackson, hit.
Hit.
Okay. We're in 28. Now we're going to 2017, right? Oh well.
Okay.
Sorry, I got a couple more. Deshaun Watson,
Hit.
Wow.
Patrick
Miss.
Mahomes.
Hit.
Hit.
What are we doing with Watson?
I'm saying
I
miss
think
on
it's a hit.
Deshaun.
Result, but hit.
If you,
He was a flash in the pan.
Yeah, miss.
that's not a flash in the pan. Like I disagree. If you look at the numbers that he had in Texas, he was consistently good, and then great the last season he was there, and then he allegedly, although mentally it seems like he did a bunch of BS. That
He ruined his own career.
he's a miss.
Gonna say. We'll move on here. Jared Goff,
Hit.
It's a hit.
hit.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz,
Miss.
Miss.
Paxton Lynch,
Miss.
Jameis Winston.
Oh, unfortunately,
Good
I
back.
love
Good
that
back.
guy.
Are we talking about backup quarterbacks?
No,
I'm saying
miss.
hit.
That's a miss, but I love that guy so
What
much.
is a miss?
A miss is you're not the. I think when you take a quarterback in the first round, you expect that quarterback to be your quarterback for at least,
At least
a
10
decade.
years.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Okay.
Well, that's the goal of taking a first round pick.
Makes sense.
That's why I wavered on Baker.
Okay,
You know.
so then that's the answer then.
But we could just go
Okay,
play.
yeah.
But Jameis is a miss, I think. Marcus Mariota,
Miss.
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 Blake Bortles,
No.
Miss.
Miss.
Although he won a playoff game.
Johnny Manziel,
I don't know if Blake Bortles
Miss.
is miss.
No,
'Cause I
miss.
didn't have high expectations for him. But
And-
first round quarterback.
Teddy Bridgewater.
Ooh,
That's
poor
a good
miss.
one.
Miss.
Nah, I'm going hit
Going hit?
because he had an injury that almost got his leg amputated.
I forgot
Okay.
about that. Yeah.
Give him a hit.
Like, all
Fine.
right, he's a miss then. It's
We'll
a,
give him a hit. He's
Nah.
a mixed result.
it's a
But
miss.
it's
but
a miss, but
he had one of those injuries that almost got his leg
I,
amputated.
I
I feel like
think, I
that's just
think you
like
need
Tua.
to add another thing to your hit and miss.
mixed result.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Hit, miss, mix.
Right. Then the last one I have for you guys, EJ Manuel.
Oh,
God.
miss.
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 Florida State 2013.
5,
It-
10,
it-
15.
It is tough picking a
20,
quarterback.
25, 31. Of the last 31 quarterbacks taken in the first round, we've got 19 miss and 12 hits. And some of those hits are generous.
It's really like a
60,
7.
70%?
It's really about 7 in terms of like
Yes.
legit hits. It's
So
about 7.
I think that is why every year
Yeah.
we do this quarterback thing. And look, not every year you're going to have the Burrow, Tua, Herbert, love, even last year, right? I mean, last year could be a really good year with Nix and Williams and Jaden and JJ. And I'm missing somebody in that group, but Drake May. The likelihood that a draft is going to be like the EJ Manuel or somebody like that, or the Trevor Lawrence draft with the Trey Lance and the Zach Wilson, the likelihood of that happening is more than getting a draft like the Burrow draft.
The thing that sucks about this too is because obviously the good quarterback, the great quarterbacks are going to figure it out regardless. It doesn't matter whether they'll figure it out, they'll be good, and they'll last the test of time. But there are a lot of quarterbacks, man, just like players, that can play. You know what they happen though? They go to the wrong owner, they go to the wrong coach, they go to the wrong OC, it's the wrong roster, it's the wrong locker room. Like Jared Goff, for as much as I love Jared Goff, we're having the same conversation about him. If he's not in the right spot, Jared Goff wouldn't be where he's at now, where he got to work with Ben Johnson and his team. So it just sucks. You have to have it right for a quarterback. It's the most important position on the team. If you don't have it right, your quarterback has to be Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. You know,
that's why I feel bad for Justin Fields.
Joe Burrow. You got to be one of those to overcome the odds if your team isn't right.
I just want to remember this. When I was a young guy, there was a guy named Jim Plunkett who was taken #1 by the New England Patriots. They were the worst organization in football. He didn't make it. He was #1 Heisman Trophy winner out of Stanford. Brilliant guy. Got traded to the 49ers 1 year, rode the bench, couldn't do anything. And then Al Davis took a chance with him with the Oakland Raiders. Dan Pastorini breaks his leg. In comes Jim Plunkett. He won 2 freaking Super Bowls. All right, so there are quarterbacks out there that start off in the crap and can wind up on top.
And that's
why I don't count out guys like Justin Fields. That's why I give him another opportunity I think just get with the right team. Not that the Jets are the right team, but I'm just saying there's still hope.
Yeah, and I agree, man. 100%. There is a lot of hope, and unfortunately, it's just how Ryan worded the question. The question was hit or miss.
Absolutely.
That's why I always hated the bust. Is there a bust? Playing in the NFL, you know, NFL players or athletes hate that term. So I understand, and that's why Trevor Lawrence is an individual that comes up.
He gets another shot.
Look at the coaching situation that has been. His first coach is Urban Meyer. You can cut the check right there. That's his first coach. Then he bring in Doug Pearson, who got fired from Philadelphia, didn't come with Frank Reich. Frank Reich has been his quarterback offensive guru guy. He didn't have that guy. He didn't have that same tutelage. And then they struggled. Talk about front office. They paid Christian Kirk $25 million.
Yep.
Christian Kirk. That's his wide receiver. $25 million for Christian Kirk.
Right.
That's his front office. So it goes back. Like Trevor Lawrence, yes, as of right now, he is a miss, although he has one playoff win against Justin Herbert. But if he gets with the right system, just imagine if Herbert was with Harbaugh. So it just sucks.
Well, he's with this Liam Cohen guy now. It's supposed to be this guru.
So
we'll see what happens. Yeah. By the way, Tigers 5-0 winners in 2 hours.
Is that great or what?
2 hours.
Oh,
5-0.
They want to get out of the cold.
Beat the Yankees.
That part.
Right?
The Yankees.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Pretty damn good.
Yep, no doubt. All right, that was fun. A little hit or miss.
Yeah.
And again, it just proves how difficult it is to pick a quarterback in the first round. Just saying.
That's true.
Okay? We're going to take a break. More around the NFL when we come back. Lions news, too. But first, a message from us here at WSN.
Yeah, man. I know you're tired of wearing that same old sports merch. It's a new era in sports wearables, new designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Shop.woodwardsports.com is where you need to go to check out the new Woodward Sports latest gear. Hoodies, tees, hats. It's all there and all guaranteed to turn heads. So you want to update your sports wardrobe? We got you. Shop.woodwardsports.com. Shop.woodwardsports.com. Go check it out. We'll be right back.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Hey guys, dreaming of the new home but feeling a financial pinch? Well, Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team are paying up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's $5,000 that you can do whatever you want with. It's in your pocket. Call Mark White and Associates today. 248-290-8242. Visit them online as well. MarkWhiteSells.com. Again, that number, 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
And welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. We're going to get right to the NFL. Some news and notes regarding this league. Tom Mazaway, shall we?
Yes.
Big trades, big moves. Who is starting? Who's injured? What does it all add up to?
5,
it's time for Around
4,
the NFL on
3,
Ermanni and Edwards with
2.
Maz.
All right, guys, I'm going to start you off with our own Detroit Lions. The offseason obviously underway. Matter of fact, they're going to meet here at the end of the month here. I think April 22nd or so we'll start the off-season workouts. But there's always been this videotape that's already leaked. Yesterday we watched Aiden Hutchinson. Ryan, you weren't here, so I'm going to replay the Aiden Hutchinson, which he put out there. A lot of people jumped on it after that, but here's Aiden Hutchinson just running free. We can leave the mics up and just talk
I'll loop it.
right
Go
over
ahead.
it. And there you go. What do you think? What do you think of Hutch there, Ryan?
I love it.
You believe in him?
Absolutely. It's exactly what you want to see. Look, he is going to become the player that he once was. There's no doubt in my mind that Aiden Hutchinson is going to get back to being among the top 5 best defensive players in the game. Mm-hmm. He is going to get there. The question is, how soon will he get there?
Right.
Will that be all of 2025 before he gets there?
Right.
Is that going to be in 26, 27, 28? Because the time is now. I hate to use that, but this is the Super Bowl time now. Can he be that best player in the NFL defensively right now?
We pray.
Absolutely.
We
and
pray.
Look, Dan Campbell said this a long time ago, or all last season, and I agree with Dan Campbell about this. If there is one guy that can do it, it is Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah.
The determination is there, the will is there, the work ethic is there. He wants to be the best, and I absolutely think if there is one guy that can get back into that, use Tommy John, for instance, or a pitcher that's got that core muscle injury like Justin Verlander, right? Justin Verlander came back the following year after that year and a half surgery away, and he pitched. He pitched pretty good. But it was the next year he was a Cy Young Award winner, right? And won the World Series. It was that kind of track. So
Dr. Pierce thinks he could do it, right? Dr. Pierce thinks he could do it. Dan Campbell thinks he could do it. So I guess we should believe that he can do it as well. Now, a guy we didn't talk about yesterday is David Montgomery. And you know he had the MCL injury, which he played through against Washington. And obviously we all knew he wasn't at 100%. They handed him the ball the first time they had the ball. Might have been a mistake, but here we are. Check out David Montgomery's workout, guys.
Go ahead and talk over it if you could, because I'm going to lower the music. There's music on there.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I mean, at the end of the day, you look at Dave Montgomery's injury, it was one of those that, he could have gotten prepared then or play. He chose to play. So we knew that, it wouldn't be a long recovery process for him. Game they lost in January. Here it is, April, and he's already bounding, as you see. He's got the plyometrics going. He's got the one leg. What is this, 315? Yeah. Actually, it's a 25 on there, too. 365. 365 forward, one leg squat. So he'll be right. D. Montgomery will be that knuckles that from last season. This is good for them.
Now, the MCL, from what I understand, is the side-to-side running is where it would affect
Medial,
him, right?
Yeah, it will.
So is he doing anything to correct that right now in those workouts?
Yeah, he's strengthening everything around it. When you get injured, when you tear ligaments, you want to strengthen the things around it. You want to strengthen the quad. You want to strengthen the hamstring. You want to strengthen the calf muscle. Those are the things that protect that knee so that when you do start the season or when he even starts minicamp and he starts this process, they're protecting that knee. You can really use that knee. So, yeah, he's doing the right things. He's definitely doing the right things.
Yeah.
Awesome. Dynamite
I
drop
agree
in,
with Braylon.
Monty.
I agree with Braylon.
100%.
Dynamite drop in,
Yes,
Monty.
you're welcome.
You got it. Hey, Dave Burkett put something out today. Always like to
Ennis
take care of our
Rakestraw,
guys.
baby.
He says Ennis Rakestraw is ready to compete. He also said Brad Holmes' goal in the offseason was to strengthen the secondary. And they feel that they have strengthened the secondary. Remember a few weeks ago, they were signing cornerback after cornerback after cornerback. They probably have 10 cornerbacks in camp. How many of them will be playing on a regular basis? I guess we'll wait and see. But the secret is Ennis Rakestraw, who will wear number 9. Yes, he took J-Mo's number from Matthew Stafford. And yesterday we went over all the number changes.
I thought that was a.
I think it's horrible.
But I got you. I got you. I got more for that. Remember what I told you it was? So it was the Alabama guys got together?
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened, but that's not the full story. Apparently, one of their former teammates passed away.
Yeah.
This past summer, and he wore
6.
He wore 6.
Yeah.
So that's what Terry and Arnold wanted to move to 6 to represent that. Jameer wanted 0 anyway, so it just kind of worked. And then back to Ennis Rakestraw, who's getting 9. Going into this season, I was hoping that he could be a player because I loved his story. I love what it was, and I know we've cracked jokes about it, but I hope the patient works as it relates to Ennis Rakestraw because there's something to this kid. I think injuries just hampered his rookie season.
I was actually sickened by the number changes. I thought it was an April Fool's joke.
I did too.
And
I wrote
look,
that.
There could be jersey exchanges and all that stuff. I'm sure it is with official.
It doesn't sound like it.
But that's just not how it works. Do you know how many different T-shirts and I don't know. I hate that.
Maddie wore yesterday. She wore her Jahmyr Gibbs T-shirt yesterday that I bought her in the playoffs, and I'm like, Maddie, do you realize you're wearing Morris Norris's number now?
Right.
Yeah. It just cracks me up, man. What is our money? Just garbage?
Well, that's what it. Look. Whatever the reason is, that's what it feels like. There's the truth. Like even bring me into it, but even back to like me not wearing a Tigers thing. There was a good reason why I didn't wear any Tigers gear, but for a lot of people watching the broadcast that day, it felt like I hated the Detroit Tigers.
Right.
That's what they felt like. That even though it's not true, even though it has no basis in fact. The feeling that people got by me not wearing Tigers gear was that I hated the Tigers and that they wanted me off their TV.
Yeah.
The feeling we get as fans when we see this is that this is a total money grab. The Lions have no regard for Lions fans' hard-earned money, and they are willing to do whatever they can do to make a buck. That's the feeling. Mm-hmm. Even if it's the furthest thing from the truth, how you make people feel is their reality. Mm-hmm. And right now, that's how things like this make people feel, in my opinion.
After we talked about ticket prices last week.
I was gonna say, like being a player, like I usually always side with the player, but like having time to, be a little older, be in a space, you sit back, feeling. You have every right to feel how you feel. You have every right to feel the way you do, Ryan Ermanni. And then looking at it, you're right, because this is where the front office can step up and say, "Hey, look, I understand about your teammate. I understand you guys want to move this, but we got fans already about your numbers. Maybe what we do is we table, and next season." We give you the opportunity to switch your numbers up, and we tell the fans midway through this season that that's going to be the process. That's something they could have done, and then as a fan, Ryan, you would have felt like they at least gave you a warning. At least they did another year. Is that kind of like, would that be better at least?
Yeah, I
look. I'm saying, like, it feel like they would have given you a heads up, like, all right, hey, this season will be Jameer's last season. We're in 26.
Well, they would, but again, they wouldn't do that because they would like.
I'm just trying to work with you.
Right, he's asking you if that was better.
Did that, would that be better?
I mean,
you got to you got to meet me in the middle.
Yeah, I'm trying to yes, if they did something like that, yeah, I guess then I wouldn't buy any Gibbs 26 jerseys for an entire year until he changed. You know what I mean?
Or it gives.
What would make me feel better is if they told
another
me
year with her right number.
Well, I would just say, you know what? If you bought this in the last 6 months, or a year, come on back and swap the jersey out. That would make me feel good.
But again, if you also believe this, the Lions just changed their jerseys last year.
Yeah.
So a lot of people just bought a new jersey within the last 12 months with the big white lettering. So I don't know, man. Again, I'm sure there's a reason for it. And, when players really want, this number or whatever, God bless them, and their reasons are valid and everything like that. But again, it goes back to a feeling that just doesn't make you feel good at all.
Well, you guys are gonna have to shake that feeling because now, like, guys are gonna be switching their numbers.
That's the way it is. That's how it is.
And with the Detroit Lions, they only give guys 1-year deals, and a lot of guys. So it's gonna be the norm. You're gonna see this more often, like at least 2 years. Like I would say, and that's why I said meet me in the middle. If they can give you the security of 2 years, at least all right, I have this amount of time with this jersey, or I know not to get it at all.
Broderick Martin is on his 3rd number. We're not buying Broderick Martin jerseys, but the main guys. It just is a bad look to me.
Hutch.
I really thought it was an
Amon-Ra.
April Fool's joke.
Right, I did too, actually.
I'm like, was this left over from last Tuesday is what I wrote, which was April Fool's Day. And it wasn't. It was the real deal. 14 guys changed numbers, including Tim Patrick, who goes from 17 to 12.
I just say one thing.
Whatever, man. It just never happened in the old days.
Right.
Okay? And by the old days, I mean 5 years ago.
It's disgusting to me, actually. I'm very, very upset by it all.
Hey man, look, brothers love our numbers. That's all I can tell you.
No, I get it.
I was being funny, right? I'm trying to make you laugh.
I get it, and I don't blame the players. I blame the organizations a little bit for, I don't know. It just doesn't make me feel good.
Let me get this. My tickets went up 50%. I can't sell them, and now the jersey I bought is worthless.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you.
So,
how many Super Bowls have you won?
Right.
Thank you. How many have you been to?
Crazy, man. Crazy.
Thank you.
Is it just our turn? Because I'm trying to be on the other side. Because both of you guys, like, you're stressing me out.
Okay.
You guys, you're like, oh my God, our organization, their jerseys, the front office. Is this every organization that starts to win? Do they do this? Did the Falcons do this to their fans when they changed the numbers? Probably. Did the Chiefs change it when they finally got it back going? Probably. Like, I think this is par for the course.
If you think about the most popular players at each of those organizations, just off the top of my head, 15.
St. Brown didn't change his number.
Yeah, neither did Hutch, and neither did Brian Branch.
Fine. Yeah, making a mountain out of a molehill, perhaps.
I'm just complaining. Let me complain.
Right.
Let me bitch.
But I was trying to be the middle. Like, you're bitching, he's bitching. I'm trying to be on the opposite, having fun.
I got one for you that I've been holding out for a couple of weeks here now. DJ Reed, who just signed a big deal with the Lions a couple of weeks ago, gifted himself $500,000 Rolls Royce with some of his money.
Gifted himself.
And there he is What's the top Rolls Royce? A
Crazy.
Ghost? Or what do they call them?
Phantom?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's
Phantom?
No,
That's the truck. Why did the name just escape me?
as soon as you said it, it just dropped.
$500,000 on a
The
Rolls.
Cullinan.
Cullinan, yeah.
Cullinan. That's the Cullinan.
I was going to ask you, Bray, what was the biggest gift you bought yourself as a young man?
Car, same thing. Bentley Coupe. I got a Bentley Coupe 2005 when I got it. I wish I wouldn't have bought it then. I wish I would have waited. But 2005 Bentley Coupe.
Did your mom tell you don't buy it?
My mom let me do what I was gonna do, and I appreciate her for that. You know, she told me about not doing a lot of other things, but no, she let me have that. You know,
That's
I worked
cool.
hard for that moment. You
Yeah,
work
of
hard
course.
to get to that point. DJ Reed worked hard to get himself
Yeah.
a deal to come to Detroit and get that big paper, as they say. So
You got the hell out of the Jets and with the winning organization.
plus, they like now you can do the big purchases. Now it makes a lot of sense because they make so much money, and it's off field. You make money. There's so many other streaming sources for him. So shout out to him. Nice truck. Bring it on to the city.
good color, too.
Hey, just be careful where you go.
Don't
with
be
that
driving on
Yeah,
the lodge
right.
now. Don't be driving.
Don't go to Mac and be with it.
Stay out of my
Go to
way,
Mac
Some of
and
those
be with it.
potholes,
Stay out
right?
of my way, man.
Before we go to the break, I want to read some of these.
Don't hang with J-Mo past.
Don't get that
Yeah,
left
don't go to
lane to do
Nicky's. Don't go to
55,
Nicky's.
We
man.
got
It's
Burns.
like the Gremlins. Don't hang past midnight.
55 in the left lane.
Burns spending some money in the super
Okay,
chat.
Burn.
What's up, Burn?
Burns said Al Avila wouldn't have traded Flaherty for Sweeney and then re-signed Flaherty, a World Series pitcher, in the offseason. Maybe, you're right. Burn. So the Tigers fixed the cold weather problem. Yes, they did. They hit 4 home runs today. He says Detroit fans will make it work as far as the Lion jerseys go. And the Jets rip their fans off and abuse them every year, and you never hear anything about it. You hear from me, though. I told you that, Burn.
And the firemen.
So thanks for all the super chats, guys.
And the fireman.
Appreciate it, man.
What's the fireman's name, Tom?
Fireman
Ed.
Fireman Ed.
They got rid of him, too.
Yeah, they
He came
they
back. He
shuffled
Came
him.
back.
Yeah,
I wish
they
they just got
shuffled
rid
him
of him
back
for good,
out.
to tell you the truth.
He got rid of
I'm
him.
sick of
came
him.
back.
Get the hell out here, Ed.
Why? What's Ed? What's the problem with Ed?
I don't know. He's
Because
just
the Jets were losing. Like we
He'll
do,
get
because
vocal.
I'm a Jet, so I say we.
Right.
And he eventually said, "I just can't take this," and he left. And everyone noticed that he wasn't there, so the Jets basically begged him to come back, paid
Right.
for the season. They always do a bunch of stuff. So then he came
That's
back,
crazy.
like Maz says, begrudgingly.
Do you still have the car Rando Smalls $5?
Nope, I sold that car to get the R8 in 2011.
Okay.
make
You
money
had it for
on
a
it?
while, though.
Well, I wish I would have kept that car because like you never get a chance to keep your first. So like I still
Yeah.
every once in a while like think about wishing I would have kept that and not got the R8. But
I mean, unless you're a collector,
Right.
and you're like,
I wish I collected. I wish I kept my.
I'm just not
my
a collector,
7-year-old 19. What year was it? 1974. It was 19.
Maz, you would have lost money on that car too.
Right.
I
Every
kept the
car.
1974 Coupe de Ville, baby.
Right.
That was my first car.
You would have lost money on that car too.
Nice.
I had my emblem stolen twice off the
There you
off
They
the
don't
car.
do hood ornaments.
yeah. Oh, I had a
Dude,
great
what's
hood
wrong with
ornament,
the?
man.
What happened to the hood
That
ornament?
thing was
Cadillac.
gorgeous.
Huh?
Gorgeous.
What happened
Now
to the
it's, now,
hood
it's, now
ornament?
it's only high-end cars that do
Right.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
Jaguar.
man, I'm telling you,
The
it is,
Jaguar had a
Yeah, the
great
Jaguar
hood
one,
emblem.
yeah.
What was your first car, Maz?
74 Coupe de Ville.
You know what my first car was? Ford Contour. It was a
Okay.
great
Nice.
car.
Okay.
Dude, that's
It was
awesome.
a great car.
That's
the Ford
awesome.
Contour. Remember the Ford Contour?
Of course.
That was
Oh.
before the Focus,
Yes.
wasn't it?
Why did
That
they
didn't last long. the
Why did they
Contour.
discontinue the
Oh,
Contour?
the Escort. That's what it was. It was like the, I think that
That's
it was
a-
like the same as the
Ricky,
Escort.
I drove
Great
to Michigan
car.
in my Ford Escort
There you
from
go.
Jersey. That's how I moved to Michigan in my
In a
Ford
Ford
Wow.
Escort?
Ford
Ford
Escort.
Escort.
That's great.
How long a drive is that?
10 and a half, 11 hours.
In your Ford Escort?
Cozy.
Yep.
Oh my
Cozy.
gosh.
One tank of
was
gas.
awesome.
One tank of gas.
I made it. I was listening to WFAN most of the way on my way here to Michigan.
The Fan.
That's
Who was
good
on the
stuff.
radio at that time?
Oh, God.
Fan.
Mike and the Mad Dog. Are you kidding?
Mad Dog.
Mad Dog.
How about a 1994 Pontiac Sunbird LE 3.1 liter V6, which I took the governor off of.
Hey.
I took the governor off that and used to do backwoods racing in Bowling Green. Backroads racing.
Guys, Pistons lose last night as well. 35 for Cade. Not, don't feel like that's.
Braylon called that. He says they were. Well, actually, Anson said they were going to lose that game.
we both did.
yeah.
I
Well,
was
I
waiting.
thought-
You gave me my credit and you took it away.
I know, but then you changed your mind. You said
Right.
you were going to go 4-0.
Oh, I did. You're
You
right.
did.
Yeah,
I was gonna give you
you're
half the
absolutely
credit.
correct.
I had him a win. I had him beaten.
I mean,
Sacramento.
how are you going to beat Sacramento when
know.
Zach LaVine decides he wants 43?
I know.
He wouldn't miss in the second
know.
half.
Guys, we are gonna take a break, and we're gonna end the show here today. Maz and I both have appointments that we have to do, so we're not gonna stick Braylon by himself.
Talk about the Pistons.
Braylon's the only one that can stay. So we've got 2 appointments. Really sorry about that. Hopefully we gave you a good hour and 40 minutes. I do want to let you know about Lady Jane's.
Thank you.
We take the chore out of getting a haircut. Our talented stylist will deliver an industry-leading haircut, relaxing scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. Open 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome. Heavyweights at 5. We'll be back tomorrow.
See you guys.
And real quick, thanks for everybody for listening. Don't forget to scan the QR code above my head and use the code word Woodward1000 to open up your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account. Make your first deposit and your first bet. If your first bet loses, you get it back as a bonus bet up to $1,000. Scan the QR code. Woodward1000 is your code word. Thanks for watching Ermanni and Edwards today with Maz. We'll catch you guys tomorrow, baby.